what's really been fascinating is to watch the men of the Democratic Party model a kind of masculinity that is simply 21st century masculinity.
You're now tuned in to the Anthony McDonald Show, where I analyze the news, politics, and the latest trend in social issues. With that being said, it's now time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the vibes. Over the past few decades, the Democratic Party has been failing to attract or retain male voters. Recent Gallup polls are showing a net Democratic lean at an all-time low of -15 for registered male voters. What does the Democrats do in return? Opposed to speaking to male voters, they seem to be further ostracizing them with their failing attempts to redefine masculinity.
There has been a lot of talk about masculinity and MAGAism trying to own masculinity in the most regressive, sort of misogynist way possible. JD Vance lecturing everybody on, what a family means, what it means to be a man. Donald Trump obviously has his own version of manhood. To see Tim Walz out there as a man who is just joyfully embracing his role as the potential vice president to the nation's first female president is an extraordinary thing. But also to see his son weeping for his father in a deeply tender and emotional way. And then the last thing I'll say, because I think this hasn't been talked about enough, to see Democrats champion men as voices on reproductive choice. Yeah.
Now, there's a few things that I do want to point out. As you notice, the MSNBC news pundits took this moment to politicize an emotional father and son moment. 17-year-old Gus Walz became emotional because his father was just accepted as the vice president nominee of the United States. Very emotional moment. It's very natural that a 17-year-old young man will weep and become emotional at such a moment as this. This is not the time for the Democratic Party to further ostracize themselves from the male voters by pushing the anti-male agenda. The second thing that I want to point out is the key issue that Alice Wagner had mentioned was women reproductive rights, and the men in the Democratic Party becoming a voice and somewhat of an advocate for women reproductive rights. And even that men in the Democratic Party are expressing their anguish in women reproductive rights. Opposed to the Democratic Party keying in on issues that are important to men, they want to spend time talking about women reproductive rights. Men are not sitting down at barbershops talking about women reproductive rights. Men are talking about the economy. Men are talking about starting businesses. They're talking about building homes. Those are the things that are concerning men. Men are talking about the crime and violence in their communities. So if the Democrats do not jump on the bandwagon and talk about issues that are really important to men, then the Democratic Party will continue to lose male voters. Now let's listen to Joy Reid and the issues that she believes that men should be ultra concerned about, especially as it pertains to our masculinity.
By the way, and I love that you're saying that, because this is about modern masculinity. Yes. Yeah. And in the Democratic Party, the coach that is saying that it's important for him as the football coach to be the faculty partner for the LGBTQ
Gay Straight Alliance.
The Gay Straight Alliance. And he's like, that's something important for me to do, because if a coach is doing it, it's going to have just a little more salience, right? And it's going to help kids not get bullied. I mean, what's really been fascinating is to watch the men of the Democratic Party model a kind of masculinity that is simply 21st century masculinity.
So here we have it, Joy Reid praising Governor Tim Walz on his affiliation with the LGBTQ community. During the time when Governor Walz was a school teacher, he was also a football coach. And at that time, he acted as the faculty partner of the LGBTQ Gay Straight Alliance. So according to Joy Reid, this is like a spectacular act of masculinity. Once again, it has nothing to do with policy. This is where the Democratic Party is failing. The key issues in the Democratic Party seems to be that of women reproductive rights and those of the LGBT community. But what they are missing is issues that are important to men. There are certain issues that we as men are concerned about, and those are the issues that we will be voting on. And the Democrats, they are missing the boat. Now, what I want to do is take you to this final clip, which includes Democrat Senator Cory Booker, and let's hear what he has to say about this new redefined masculinity.
We got Senator Cory Booker.
I was like, who's it gonna be?
Who could it be? But
yeah, we did that.
The 21st century man himself.
Yeah.
Senator Booker, tonight was your night as chairing the events.
Yes.
We're talking about this kind of redefinition of masculinity in the wake of a Republican National Convention that offered a very reductive vision to the country. What'd you make of Coach Walz tonight?
You know, there's a deep decency and kindness about him. And I said this to somebody, it actually is the perfect handoff, because the Joe Biden I got to know during the 2020 presidential campaigns, I always say when somebody's nice to you but not nice to the waiter, they're not a nice person.
Real talk.
And that is Joe Biden, but I'm telling you, that is Governor Walz too.
They're nice to the waiters.
Yeah.
They are nice to the waiters. They have this love in them that you could feel before you hear. I wish America could have seen when he came backstage and was just embraced by all the football guys hanging out there. It was this love huddle. Like as a former football player, it was a love huddle back there. The genuineness of their connection, of their affection. A bunch of guys huddled up in a love huddle. And I'm telling you, that's what we need in America. We have got to turn the page on the meanness, the viciousness, the put downs, to have a president that will go after you if you're even in his own party. The way he talked about, you know, my friend Chris Christie's weight, the way he talked about Nikki Haley's heritage, John McCain's military service, DeSantis's height. I mean, come on. Do you expect that from the President of the United States of America? No. Donald Trump is indiscriminate in his viciousness. We need kindness again. We need joy again. We need pragmatic policy making again.
A bunch of guys huddle up in a love huddle is what America needs. So my takeaway from this is the Democrat Party, they're missing the boat when it comes to attracting male voters. Trying to attract male voters off of women reproductive issues and LGBTQ issues is not going to cut it. Having male voters get in the love huddle is not going to get it. The male voters are concerned with having a stronger economy, having a stronger military. We're concerned with having secure borders. Those are issues that are pressing to male voters. We're concerned with having very safe streets for our women and children to walk on every single day. Those are issues that are very important to male voters. I want to hear from you. What are some of the issues that you think are most important for male voters? Would it be women reproductive issues, LGBTQ issues, or would it be issues such as the economy and the border? Write it down in the comment. Thank you for joining us. And if you found any value in this video, please feel free to join again. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment. And until next time.